you can see there is a network where in which we use a Cisco packet tracer to create it, but it is a network with the VPN server. So here this is my PC and I want to access some prototype or some website from the Google. So for that there is a separate connection is established between the my PC and the Google server. So first there is a private network between my PC and my router, and my router then will connect me with the my ISP server, which means internet service provider, through which I will connect to the internet, and the same process will done with the Google server. So here I will get some data from the Google and then I will access the features of the any website or Google server. So when the hacker want to access this data, then he can't directly attack on my private network or Google's private network, because it is very difficult to fetch any data or try to access any data from the private server. So what the hacker will do, then hacker will be attack on this public network. So it is easy to attack on the public network and we can access the data from the public network. So when hacker will attack on it, and if he is not using the VPN server, then we can easily trace his IP and easily allocate him and we can catch him. That's why hacker will use the VPN server proxy server. So what is the proxy server? In the proxy server, the IP address of the hacker will be masked with another IP, and then it will be changed with the time. So if we are trace that IP address, then it will show another any other destination or any other geographical position, and after some time when it is automatically changed, then we will see another geographical location of the hacker. So it is make very difficult to trace an hacker if he is using the VPN server, and all the data he is accessing from the internet will be encrypted using AES encryption method. So that's why it is not easy to trace this hacker. So now in this figure we can show how the VPN server will work in nowadays. So nowadays VPN server is using the tunneling method. What is the tunneling method? In the tunneling method there is one entry point and one access point. So here if we are trying to access data from except this entry point, then it is impossible to take the data or access the data. That's why the tracing the hacker with the VPN server which is using tunneling method, it is more and more difficult, which makes our work very difficult. So for that, now our solution is to use an security method which is very no very much popular, and it is known as HoneyPot method. In the HoneyPot method we are making a proxy. So first we will take an example. There is a one company which has an intranet, so and there is a router which connected with the internet. So there is a router and there is a firewall before the router. So we will put a proxy server after the firewall and connect it with the router and make a firewall to depict is more reliable, and then we connect it with the internet. So this is known as honeypot method. So what is the honeypot? Honeypot is a computer system that is set up to act as decoy to lure cyber attackers and to detect, deflect or study attempts to get unauthorized access to the information. So it is very simple that honeypot is a one security method which is used to lure our cyber attackers, and through that we can detect them or deflect them. And there is a we can put the honeypot in the both side. Before the we can put the honeypot in two sides, outside the proxy servers router and toward the internet, and the second position will be other side of the server, means the company system and the before the firewall. and these two position we can put the honeypot. So in the first position we can save our data from the outside of the hacker, and the second position where we put our honeypot on the other side of the server in the location that accessible to the user in your private network. So because that there are we do not judge the hacker will be come from the outside. It is possible that our employees are also hacker and they want to access our data or uh, thief our data. Then from to protect our data from this type of employee, we can put our honeypot in the other side of the server. So the idea of solution I have already told you. So what our software will done work. So there is a company server and there is a system, and now a hacker want to access our data and thief our data from our system. So hacker will be directly attack on our system. So protect our data, I we will make a proxy server before the system, and we will redirect our hacker to the proxy server, which is exactly look like our main server, and there is a fake data in it. So and we will also make some firewall before our proxy server to make it more reliable. So a hacker is coming from the VPN server and marks his IP and attack on our proxy server. Then what will we do that after he will attack on our proxy server, we will and access our data, then our software will be automatically activate, which will send one trojan to the hacker's system. So here if VPN is using tunneling method, then our Trojan will be directly go to the hacker server, because it is hacker is accessing our data, and our data is going through our Trojan is going with the data, which are always fake data. Then we will go to the then our Trojan will be directly go to the hacker's system, and he will be activate, and then he will provide us a hacker's actual IP address and hackers data. And it will also make we can also make that our Trojan will crash the hacker system, but then it is difficult to trace him, because he can identify that he is in attack, and he will change his geographical location. So what are the technologies that we are going to use in this prototype? So first, Python language, JavaScript, and a proxy server, and a Kali Linux for our prototype. Next, use cases. So easy, we want to trace the hacker of who want to invade our system. And also there are lots of same type of use cases for our system, which will help the government. He can stop the illegal activities. We can trace so many attackers, and also break the chain of attackers. So many use cases of our prototype. What are the dependency and software? So there is not a such software in this market that in the real world, in the current world, that will trace the person or unauthorized person who is come from the VPN server. So our device will be our software will be the first software that can make it possible, and it will be available for minor public or minor companies also. So it is first very difficult to trace any person or unauthorized person who is come from VPN, and it is requires so much intelligence and knowledge of cybersecurity to make it possible to trace any unauthorized person. But now with the help of our software, it is very easy to trace that hacker. So our software will be first software. So what are the stoppers? So first, if the honeypot is not made properly, then attacker will know his threat and eventually will back from our attack, and then we can't trace him or locate him. And second stopper is private VPN companies which IP address range is unknown for us. Then which VPN service is using is hacker is using that will be not known by us. And create a perfect trojan who is compatible with each and every os and their version. So the trojan is also one big problem, because no, making trojan is not a uh, cup of tea for every person, and it is very difficult to create such a powerful trojan who can break the VPN firewalls and break the hackers data and its giant system, and give us the IP location of that system. So it is very difficult to create such type of trojan. So this is our project, this is our system, these are stoppers, and this is our idea of in which we are going to work. And I'm very sure, I'm 110% sure that I will my team and I will make possible to create this software. Like we have made our project successful in last two hackathons in at Gujarat levels, and same as for this all India level hackathon, I am very sure that we will make this prototype a working condition. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening me, and thank you so much, judges.